let's kick off this explainer with a pretty bold realization from our source material. First AI came for the writers, then it came for the coders. But the one category we thought was relatively safe was creativity itself, right? Things like branding, studio photography, advertising. Well, turns out Google just came for that too.
Today, we're diving into Google's brand new tool, Pomelli. And honestly, it literally does in a few clicks what an entire creative team takes weeks to build. And the absolute craziest part? Somehow, Google made the whole thing completely free. So, in this explainer, we're going to break down the top tips on how to do small business branding using Pomelli and look at real examples of how this tool can step in as your personal, senior creative director.
Here is our roadmap for today. First, the creative agency killer. Second, stages of brand building. Third, starting brands from scratch. And finally, connecting to Google Ads. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. The creative agency killer. Why traditional branding is just way too slow and costly.
We really need to start by understanding the massive friction small businesses face when trying to launch a brand the normal way. Think about the old approach for a second. You need a designer for your logo, a copywriter for your tone, a photographer, an agency, a web developer. That is literally a small army. And it takes weeks of back and forth emails. This perfectly illustrates the core problem. Small business marketing often never actually gets done because paying 5 different people is just too slow and way too expensive. But the new way? You just give Pomelli one single link to your website or even just a few images, and it instantly acts as your senior creative director, completely eliminating that entire bottleneck.
Moving on to Section 2, Stages of Brand Building, we'll be unpacking the 4 core capabilities of Pomelli.
What's really interesting here is how Pomelli takes the notoriously chaotic, messy creative process and just structures it perfectly. It operates through these 4 exact stages, handling everything from establishing your core identity to giving you a live landing page in roughly 60 seconds. You build your business DNA, get campaign ideas and assets, generate a product photo shoot, and finally, create your brand book and website. Let's break down exactly how it pulls this off. So, the crucial takeaway here is that this business DNA acts as your home base. If you already have a website, you literally just paste the link. Pomelli's engine scrapes your site, grabs your colors, studies your brand values, figures out your visual aesthetic, and picks your fonts. It's absolutely vital because this is how the AI learns your exact brand. That way, its outputs actually look like you, instead of just feeling like generic copy-paste AI templates. To really see this in action, the source material tested Pomelli on a massive, heavy-hitting website, H&M. And the results? Honestly, they were incredible. For the business DNA, Pomelli immediately generated this scarily accurate tagline, fashion and quality at the best price in a sustainable way. Then, it produced these ready-to-post vertical campaign posters featuring real H&M catalog products with Shop the Edit call to actions. It even took those actual catalog products and placed them onto photorealistic AI models for a full product photo shoot, and it did all of this from just one single URL. No way, right?
Now, if you've ever wasted hours just nudging tiny text boxes around trying to make a poster look right, you are going to absolutely love the fixed layout feature. Once Pomelli generates a campaign poster, you can obviously tweak the text and colors. But by simply hitting that Fix Layout button, the AI instantly cleans up the spacing, the font sizes, and the overall composition. Suddenly, nothing feels cramped. It looks completely professional, and it saves you hours of those frustrating tiny design tweaks.
And instead of paying a traditional agency thousands of dollars for a massive brand guideline PDF, Pomelli gives you a fully shareable brand book in under a minute. You just choose a cover, pick a few supporting images, and Pomelli compiles your whole brand overview. It includes clear space rules for your logo, your typography, the exact hex codes for your colors, and your brand voice. You can download the whole shebang as a PDF, or just generate a public link to hand off to any new employee or freelancer.
All right, Section 3. Starting brands from scratch. How to build an identity without an existing website.
Let's completely shift gears to a scenario that most online tutorials actually just skip right over. Say you're a solo founder, a brand new business owner, or you're just testing out a cool brand idea. You probably don't have a website yet. Well, you can use the No Website Yet path. This lets you talk directly to the Pomelli AI agent. You act as the guide, just feeding it raw materials like files, PDFs, or images, and the agent constructs your entire business DNA purely from scratch.
The source actually walks us through a really fantastic example of this using a fictional handcrafted jewelry brand based in Jaipur called Gulabi. To build this from absolutely nothing, all it took was uploading 6 to 8 photos of handcrafted kundan and meenakari jewelry directly into the chat. Then, the user gave it a detailed text prompt, and Pomelli auto-generated a few taglines. They ended up selecting timeless Rajasthani craftsmanship worn with pride, which instantly locked in the brand's DNA.
The real secret sauce here is the prompt. By telling the AI, quote, "Our colors are deep, emerald green, royal gold, and japai pink. Our tone is elegant, warm, and proud of its heritage. We sell to women who want statement jewelry for weddings." You're giving it exactly what it needs. By feeding the AI that highly specific, descriptive prompt, the dashboard instantly established a regal brand aesthetic that perfectly matched the founder's vision.
And guys, from just those simple photo uploads and that single prompt, the results were staggering. Pomelli produced high-end 9x16 Instagram creatives for a custom Diwali campaign. It even generated photorealistic Indian models wearing traditional outfits that actually coordinated perfectly with the uploaded jewelry. Plus, it spun up a stunning first-draft landing page, complete with regal typography, a legacy section, and a full product gallery. Literally all from scratch. It's a real game-changer.
Moving to our final section, Section 4, Connecting to Google Ads. This is the hidden feature that completely transforms distribution.
Now we arrive at the absolute goldmine feature for marketers, the one that really collapses the entire software stack. Because once your branding and creatives are done, you obviously need distribution, right? Well, through the Connected Apps menu, you can link your Google Ads account directly to Pomelli. You don't have to download heavy files, open a dozen new tabs, and manually upload everything to your ad account anymore. Every campaign, every creative variation, and every aspect ratio can be pushed straight into Google Ads without ever leaving the dashboard.
This means your entire workflow basically lives inside a single unified interface. You define your brand identity, generate your product creatives, and then push them directly to Google Search and YouTube ads. Google has quietly taken multiple disjointed marketing tools and collapsed them into one seamless and totally free pipeline. 0. That is the exact number of external tools or extra team members a freelancer or small business owner actually needs to launch a fully integrated marketing campaign today using this software. You just don't need to sit around waiting on a designer, a developer, or an ad agency anymore. Which brings us to the ultimate takeaway from this explainer. The barriers to entry for professional, high-end branding, they've completely vanished. If you have been waiting for the perfect moment to actually take your marketing seriously, this is it. The people who start using tools like this today are going to look like they have a massive agency behind them, while everyone else is still stuck waiting on 3 different people to reply to an email thread. So with entire creative teams collapsed into one free tool, what are you going to build today?